Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today, if you're going for Platinum Arena Reset, if you're moving up into Gold 1 3v3, or whatever you're doing, I hope it's going well for you. Yesterday, I did a video talking about my very first fully awakened champion, Rhodos, 6-star, who I never opened a single soul for. Everything was literally split souls from the shop, so 1-star, 2-star, all the way up to 6-star, all of them were purchased from the shop. So no RNG involved whatsoever, except for waiting him to actually pop up in the shop. So today, I want to talk about my approach to the Altar of Souls, my approach to Soulstones in general, and kind of give you guys some of my advice, suggestions, and opinions. Now, guess what? This isn't the only option. There's tons of other options out there, and this isn't the best option. If you have a different approach, let me know down below. I'm definitely interested in knowing, because while my approach may be what's best for me, it may not be what's best for somebody who is, earlier in the game, not so worried about, the more in-game content, PvP focused, and things like that. Maybe you're specifically working on your clan boss. The approach for you may be a little bit different. So what I want to start off talking about is the difference in some of the blessings. Blessings like Ward of the Fallen specifically, massive difference going from these lower awakenings to 6-star. Temporal change, very similar. Big difference when you're going from these low ones to now 6-star, decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 15% whenever an enemy receives a third active buff. That's arguably a big difference. In my opinion, blessings like Polymorph, going from a 5% chance to a 20% chance, that's a big difference in percentage, but as far as the actual effect, the core mechanics are still there. The core effect of this skill is still, hey, they have a chance to be sheeped, and it's going to be just more of a chance at 6-star. Versus these other blessings, it kind of changes the way the entire blessing works. Honestly, Ward of the Fallen goes from being really good to now absolutely insane. So the High Awakening bonus, just so you guys can get an example, the High Awakening bonus for Ward of the Fallen deals bonus damage to each enemy hit by this champion. The number of times bonus damage is inflicted on each enemy target is equal to the number of dead allies. So Rhodos, an excellent solo champion in Arena. If everybody else is dead, Rhodos can oftentimes be the champion who wipes out the enemy team by himself, and this makes him that much better. Bonus damage is proportional to this champion's attack. Rhodos is an attack-based champion, so the bonus damage is going to be pretty high. Adds 1 bone armor stack for each instance of bonus damage inflicted. This is possibly the biggest part of this whole skill, because before, you could not regenerate those bone armor stacks. Once you ran out of bone armor, it was done. So you start with the 2 or 3 stacks at the beginning, and once they're gone, they're gone. At 6-star, you have 3 stacks, which can be regenerated. Each stack reduces the damage you receive by 30%. So Ward of the Fallen, going from these lower star rankings to the higher ones, is absolutely huge. Now, why is this important? This is important because the champions you're going for, you want to make sure that somebody you're working towards getting the 6-star blessing for is somebody who's going to get a big benefit from their blessing. For example, another one, Brimstone. Brimstone used to be really good at 1-star. Now it's still really good. You're still definitely going to use it, but at 6-star, it's a big difference. It's a 100% chance of place, so you don't even need accuracy, as far as I'm aware, guaranteed, and it's protected. Can't be stripped. Sand Devils, it can actually be used again, because right now the Sand Devil just cleanses it and it feels very bad. But 6-star, that's a big difference. So if you're really focused on PvE, Brimstone champions could be excellent. Obviously, when you pick out your champion, you want to have the 6-star Brimstone on. You want to make sure it's a champion who you're using in several different PvE areas, because to be honest, it may be the only 6-star fully awakened champion you're going to get in the next year if you're going through the methods that I'm giving examples of and you're not actually opening anything from the shards as far as actual champions. So when it comes to actually buying the stuff from the Soul Merchant, I have a few little notes over here so I can kind of keep it, actually giving you guys some good information. So when the blessings first came out, I was a big fan of going in here. Oh, a champion like Dracomorph. You have him for clan boss. He pops up in the shop. Spend the 20 essence for Brimstone. Brimstone's amazing. Go ahead and buy it. Oh, a champion who you don't really use that much, but sometimes you use them in PvE content. Oh, buy it. Brimstone is amazing. Just throw it on the champion and you're going to be good to go. However, Brimstone's not as usable everywhere like it used to be. Used to, you didn't need accuracy, but we're not going to talk too much about that. Basically, nowadays, what I do is if you have PvE champions who you really need Brimstone on, okay, get them the 1-star, but to be honest, be very, very careful, because while these low levels, 20 doesn't feel like that very much, okay? 20 feels kind of low. As you start climbing to 40, as you're climbing to the 100, as you're climbing to the 300s and the hundreds of the big ones, 20 starts to seem like quite a bit, especially when you're 20 away from actually being able to purchase one of the souls. So purchase them very sparingly. Don't just come in here, buy all the 21s, because if you buy 3 of the 20s, boom, that's 60. And that's going to take a while to actually reaccumulate those shards. So honestly, what I would recommend is if you have the souls for majority of the PvE champion that you actually use, or if you can actually even make sense of it. So for me, let's look at my Hydra stuff. I may not even have Brimstone on all my Hydra teams, honestly. I'm not for sure. So this Hydra team, I do have one Brimstone on Ninja, but honestly, not even a huge deal. I'll probably use Artak in place of Ninja once we actually get him. This team I have Brimstone on Venus, 1 star. This team I have 2 Brimstones, but it's just kind of how it works out. So if you have Brimstone, great. But if not, consider how much it's actually going to help you. Maybe it's better to just save those souls, save those shards, save that essence, better yet, for a champion you really want to get to 6 star, whether it's your Ninja, so we can always land Brimstone, whether it's some other random champion who you really want to get to 6 star fully awakened. The next thing, when it comes, we're going to get back into this, okay? I have a really, really big tip that I want to save for later on in the video, but right now, I want to talk about Iron Twins. So my Iron Twins team, I've already used all my keys today, and I did the refresh. I don't always do the refresh, but I'd say probably more often than not, I do the refresh. So that's the only part that I've paid for this whole stuff. I haven't bought any shards for like 8 months, a year. When they first came out, I bought some. Terrible luck. Haven't bought any since then. My Iron Twins team. We have a Helicath, 3 Penkeepers, and Geomancer. Very, very smooth, relatively fast, 3 minutes or less, and it's 100%. Or at least very, very close to 100%. As far as the presets go, this is what we have. Helicath is in Stone Skin, 281, got some damage going. I changed up his build a little bit since the last video. Penkeeper, 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 and then Geomancer. So pretty simple setup, very easy run. I've done some videos about this, but hey, I just set this to run. I do my Iron Twins. I buy the refreshes most days. Is it worth it for most players? Probably not. But it is worth it to run it, and it is worth it to buy the refreshes on Sunday during the Void Affinity, which is actually going to happen in 5 hours and 48 minutes, because then you're going to get double the rewards. So then it is definitely worth actually purchasing those keys, because you're going to get a lot more bang for your energy, basically. The next point that I want to make is probably not going to relate to the whales, okay? If you spend money on this, you can probably disregard this. But if you're a player who's not spending money on this stuff, the absolute biggest trap is buying these Immortal Soulstones and Eternal Soulstones. It may not seem like it. 1,000 of these tokens, 1,000 of the gold ones, you got 1 Immortal Soulstone, okay? 50 of the Immortal Soul Essences. Let's go ahead and see this, okay? 1,000, because we need to do the math just to show you guys the difference, is 20 Immortal Essences. This is 1 blessing, okay? Your goal is to get blessings at a more guaranteed and consistent rate. If you buy an Immortal Soulstone, you could pull a 6-star Ninja, a 6-star whatever champion you want, but let's go take a look at the actual odds, okay? So an Immortal Soulstone, you have a 46% chance to pull a rare. That is awful. You have the highest chance to pull a rare 3-star champion. A rare 3-star champion, and you just wasted 20 of the actual soul essences, which could guarantee you 1-star blessing, okay? Immortal Soulstone is a terrible, terrible purchase, in my opinion, for majority of players. I have never bought any of them. The Eternal Soulstone is even worse, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But the Immortal Soulstone, you're going to need a ton of these Immortal Essences. So if you're purchasing the Immortal Soulstone, unless you're getting super lucky, which is just complete RNG, you're going to end up, majority of the time, coming out on the losing end of that whole deal. Now, when you look at the Eternal Soulstone, it's an 80% chance to get an epic. That epic has an 80% chance to be in 5-star. That is also awful. Absolutely awful. And the crazy part about that is this is 1,000 as well. That's 20 of the Eternal Soul Essences. You need 400 of the Eternal Soul Essences total to go from 4-star to 6-star. The 5-star split soul is 100. The 6-star split soul is 300. So if you're wasting 1,000 of these tokens on an Eternal Soulstone instead of buying this Eternal Soul Essence, you're really just leaving your entire account's fate of actually getting a 6-star fully awakened champion up to RNG. What I do is I always obviously buy the Mortal Soulstones, because you can't do anything else with these small tokens. So I buy this, I save them, I open them, and then majority of the things I open, I sell. Now, when it comes to the actual souls in your soul collection, I honestly, am very picky about the ones I keep. Majority of them I just sell because I'd rather have the essence to convert to a champion who I actually want than a random rare champion who I'll probably never use. Now, the one exception with this is I do have more rare champions than I would recommend basically any of you actually having. First up, the rare blessings don't make a huge difference. Second of all, the rares don't make a big difference. Majority of the rares aren't even that good. So the only reason why I have them saved is for the possibility of doing a video. I have plenty of soul room in here. I'm not going to upgrade it anymore. I've never filled this out. I have plenty of room for more soul stones. There's no reason for me to really sell them. If I ever possibly want to do a video, I'll just keep them. Obviously, you can fill this out. You can have all the souls saved, but then you're going to have a lot less of the actual soul coins and soul essences. So I'm very quick to sell a lot of the epics and rares, especially the legendaries. I will typically keep them because, you know, why not? You have the legendary. It's harder to get the legendary than it is to get the soul stones. Okay. So speaking of soul stones, how do I actually get them? Well, great ways to get them are through events and tournaments. If you're able to pick up the soul stones, sometimes they have immortal soul stones. Sometimes they have the just mortal soul stones right here. If you can pick them up wherever you can. Depending on the investment, of course. If it's not very much, go ahead and grab it while you can. They have the coins here. Like I said, don't use those coins for the immortal or even eternal soul stones. Use those coins only for the soul essences. Now, if you really want to, you can just save up all these coins until you're ready to actually make a decision and then decide what you want to do from there. But for me, I'm always just going in here, converting them. Boom. Now I have 7 of these and I can start looking for my next actual awakened champions. The next best way, and this is a way everybody should be working towards, is doing Hydra. Getting your nightmare teams done, getting your 1 key nightmare teams done, getting your 1 key brutal teams done, and getting your 1 key hard teams done. So from Nightmare Hydra, you're going to have 2 chests. Each chest, assuming your clan actually kills it, is going to have 1 to 3 soul stones. Each week when I finish, I'm looking at least 10 new soul stones that I have. Some are great, some are not, but if you're following the kind of strategies that I do, I really don't care if they're great or not, because every champion that I summon who's not going to be used as the soul, I'm just selling it. And then I'm converting all that stuff into soul essence, so then I can pick when I get what champion. So if you leave it up to RNG, basically, you're not going to get what you want. It's going to take forever. You're going to have souls all over the place. And if you're very, I guess, if you're very, just sporadic about which ones you pick, which ones you take, you're really never going to be able to get your champions you really want to 6-star because you're going to be buying everything in here. Oh, a Cold Heart pops up. She's 5-star. It's not that much. It's not that expensive. The 5-star blessing is, I honestly don't know what it is, but say it's like 50 eternal essences or something. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy that. 50 is not that much. We got a 5-star Cold Heart. Well, maybe it may not be that much until you're ready to get, your 4-star blessing for whatever champion it is, and you need a couple hundred of the eternal. I forget the exact prices, but you guys get the idea. It's not much until you are missing those 50 to actually get the higher rarity champion. But basically, guys, to summarize all of this, never buy the eternal or the eternal soul stones. Always use your small coins to buy the immortal soul stones. Do Iron Twins when you can. Refresh it on Sundays to go ahead and get the double rewards. Do Hydra. Use your immortal soul essences and your eternal soul essences. Always convert these. And when you're finally getting these, do not buy anything you want in here, okay? Only buy the specific champion who you want. It's going to refresh each day. You're going to have a chance to do it at each day. I guess at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. is when it resets for me, but you see the refreshes here. So always be on the lookout. Only buy the champions who you really want, you really know you're going to get value out of. Go in there and look at it, say, hey, this is a champion who I want to get to 6-star. And you'll be able to get them to 6-star relatively fast, okay? Don't buy anything else until you get that champion to 6-star. And then once you get them to 6-star, reassess your game plan and go from there. Right now, I'm still trying to decide who do I want to take to 6-star next. I have a few champions who I'm considering. I'm honestly debating on Rhonda. Rhonda has no blessings whatsoever right now, so maybe she's my next champion to get to 6-star because I've been using her a lot. I think she's an excellent champion. I'm not for sure what I'd put on her. That's what I got to decide on because whatever I decide on may make the difference on if I actually take her to 6-star or not. So guys, hopefully that gives you somewhat of a help. Maybe it gives you somewhat of a guidance and approach on how to actually get a champion to 6-star, fully awakened, basically free to play. I mean, I've bought 0 soul stones since they've released. Well, since that first initial time of buying 100, but since then I've not bought any. So guys, do Hydra, do your events, do your tournaments, and you too can get your very first fully awakened champion. in less than a year, hopefully, which is a very long time, but it's the best way to do it, because if not, you're never going to get one. And hey, it's better to have a plan than kind of just go in and picking and buying everything you can. So guys, thank you all very much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.